He'll probably be out for a little while. I don't think it's anything that's going to bother him long term, but more of a precaution this time of year. We'll hold him out a little bit of stuff.
Was it related to the surgery at all, or
Not at all.
completely different?
Completely different.
Okay. And as far as working in centers with him kind of on the shelf now, how's that changed things for you?
Well, we've had a couple guys that have been working at guard that have also worked at center, so it actually gives us a chance to move those guys back in and get them some practice because they need it.
Do you mind talking about them a little bit and what you've seen out of them?
No, Tony Mattio's done a solid job stepping in. He's kind of relearning the position because he hasn't practiced it much this spring. Russell Houghton James is going to move in there as well some. Haven't had him in there yet, but looking forward to putting him there and letting him go through the same process of kind of relearning the calls and relearning how to set the offense.
Tough injury for Adam Pankey, too. Can you talk a little bit about that and how that might affect the team going forward?
Well, it's hard to say how it's going to affect the team. Certainly, you hate to see that out of anyone, but he was making a lot of strides and improving on a daily basis. So it's frustrating from that standpoint. But the thing about these guys, and we talk to them about it all the time, is that you can't control that. So when it happens, somebody's got to step in, somebody's got to take his place and move forward with it.
Does that help you build depth?
Having an injury?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean getting other guys in there to practice? Absolutely, yeah. I'm sorry, misunderstood where you're going with that. Yeah, it definitely does. It gets a lot of guys a lot more reps and a lot more practice, so it definitely does.
When Dana was out here the other night, he mentioned a few guys who had kind of impressed him, Nick Kindler, Curtis Fight. What have you seen out of those guys this spring, and do you think that they are in contention to maybe fight for some jobs?
Yeah, I hope one of the two of them fights for a job and wins it because they're the two rotating at that position right now. But yeah, they've both done a really good job. They kind of play off each other a little bit. Nick's a really athletic guy and controls his body well. Curtis is a big, strong, physical guy, so they kind of play off each other a little bit. But they're improving on a regular basis, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that shakes out.
Those two guys rotating a little bit late last season at that tackle. Do you go back to last year's film and?
I've watched some of last year's film, but to be honest, I don't remember if they were rotating or not. I just kind of watched it to see how they moved, just kind of see what they did.
Gotcha.
What have you seen out of Spain then? This with Edgar down, that leaves Spain as kind of the veteran guy on the offensive line.
Well, he first of all is kind of the leader and kind of the guy that keeps things light a little bit in the group, and it's always good to have one of those guys. But when it comes time to play, he's ready to play. He's focused. He likes to play physical. He comes off the ball low and hard. And, has a lot of strength in his punch. So he's a guy that kind of keeps things light and keeps things moving forward. But when it comes time to go, he's ready to go, and he's intense about it.
You notice any drop off after spring break? Or did they come back just fired up?
No, they came back ready to go, and we talked a lot to them about how important that was to come back with the right focus and the right attitude, and they did a real nice job with it.
Anything right now you particularly like about your unit?
I love the fact that they go out and compete every day. I love the fact that they push each other. They're developing a real strong cohesive group, and I think that's critical with an offensive line unit, that they're doing stuff together. They're with each other all the time. They're constantly pushing each other, constantly looking after each other and taking care of each other. So that's the biggest thing I like as of the group as a whole.
Is there any time when you might get Agar back in there?
I really have no idea how long he's going to be out.
How big a setback is this in someone that's trying to learn a position and learn the techniques?
I think an injury, certainly any time, is takes a little bit of time to get back to where you were. But he's a veteran player. He understands the offense. I don't think from a mental aspect it's going to be anything at all. Sure.
If it comes out that somebody like Tyler or somebody like Stone Underwood comes in and ends up winning the center job, what would the plan for Pappy? Have you guys thought about that? And is he still working out, or was he still working out anywhere else in addition to center?
He hadn't yet because we wanted to continue letting him learn the position. But I think he's a guy that's played a lot at guard, played a lot of tackle, so I don't think it'd be much of an issue to move him back out if somebody else won that job.
How much does having three
4 starting spots wide open help create competition?
A lot, and hopefully it continues to raise the level of competition, because if not, then that means, it's not important enough to them. But I think the thing that I've seen is these guys know how to go out and compete and battle and fight for things without making things personal with each other. And that's, again, goes back to having a cohesive group and an O-line room that really believes in each other and believes in the team. Sure.
Which would you rather have? 4 guys fighting for four positions open and being fought for, or 4 guys that can play there?
I think anytime you can have returning starters, you feel better about things. But, we're approaching it as a positive and watching the guys battle and compete and see who steps up. The good thing is there's guys that have played a lot of football fighting for those jobs. So